Driven a Tesla? I haven't driven a Tesla. I hear they're fucking rocket ships. Like, I would like to try one.
I heard they're real cheap as shit. My wife has been in one. So I'm trying to look up. So Minnesota's overall power usage for the entire state is 68 terawatts. All right, which is 2% total in the U.S.
The great video that you had sent me of all the Teslas burned up at the Tesla factory, or the Tesla
And the Chargers.
And the Chargers at the Tesla outdoor like showroom. I wish I had the location for it. It says BMW Black France, but I know it's not there, whatever. I mean, it's, again, we'll get it up on social so everybody sees it. I mean, a Tesla store that everything is burned to the ground.
I fucking hate electric vehicles.
Listen, I like electric vehicles only as far as they use electricity, and we're electricians, and that it's good for people to have option if they want to trick themselves into believing that that's the better way to go.
Yeah.
There are advantages to the
motherfuckers.
environment for having an electric vehicle, but the drawbacks are more and more serious.
Look, here's the simple fact. If you own a Tesla, if you own an EV BMW, Mercedes, Ford, GMC,
If you
Honda,
charge your car to go to the grocery store,
if you fucking
or
charge,
truck,
if you have a fully electric vehicle, I fucking hate every single one of you because you're not helping the fucking environment at all. And you're telling yourself a fucking lie. And God damn it, you're just a piece of shit.
So John said hate and piece of shit because he's animated here. He doesn't mean that. He doesn't hate you, but he's absolutely right. You're not helping the environment.
No, you're telling yourself a pretty fucking story to make yourself feel better. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah. The petroleum exhaust fumes that you think you're saving, sending into the air, are getting made in spades to develop the electricity to charge your car. And if you look up even quickly, the slave labor
Lithium fucking mine.
goes into all the things that you need for that electric battery operated vehicle, you're not doing the world no favors. You're just posturing to say you're a better person. You feel good. If you feel good about yourself, great, but don't do any research, because if you look into it just a little bit,
You're going to hate yourself.
your effect on the environment is at best negligible compared to the amount of exhaust and things that go into creating the electricity and generating it. But at least my car and my truck don't have slave labor pulling minerals out of the ground with babies on their back and things like that.
Yeah, fuck you.
Right. We're not against electricity. Electricity is great. If we have to upgrade the entire power grid in North America so that everyone can have an electric vehicle, well, it's going to keep electricians working for years.
Yeah.
But you ain't helping the environment.
Oh, and if you're on that freaking electric vehicle kick and you think that we can fix the problem with wind turbines and solar panels, fuck right off.
Yeah.
All the way off to the top of fuck off mountain.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Do a tiny, tiny bit of research and figure out how many solar panels you need on your house or property, or how many wind turbines at what size, generating what amount of power. And then remember, that's a gigantic number just for your, let's say, Tesla. Okay.
Right.
No offense to Tesla. I'm sure they're making a great product. I hear good things.
No, fuck Tesla.
But also, we're only talking about that one car that you're trying to charge in your garage at home. What about the fact that they want this to be trains and all the over-the-road truck?
Right.
Listen, the power grid can't handle it.
Right. This is coming from two fucking electricians. It cannot handle it.
Period. It can't handle it. If half the people in North America got electric vehicles tomorrow,
We'd be fucked.
half of those people aren't charging the next day.
Yeah. And our grid will go down, and then thousands and hundreds of thousands of people will be without power.
Right. Because you thought that you were making the environment better, when in fact you were just telling yourself a story.
Uh-huh.
Now, if we upgrade the grid and all that stuff, perfect. If you want to drive electric vehicles, great. But I'm telling you, you ain't getting it soon, and you ain't getting it for everybody.
No.
And you ain't doing the world no favors.
No. And there's the unpopular opinion I have for everybody. The only way we can fix it is nuclear. And nobody wants to hear that word.
They have such a terrible image from a few mild disasters. Some of them terrible, right? But not here.
Right.
And always with older, outdated equipment. Not with today's safety standards and computing and instantaneous readouts of problems.
Right.
Nuclear is the way to go.
Yeah, it's the only way to save our grid.
Right.
Especially if they push this. Now, keep in mind, from the stats that I heard, if we change over to electric everything, as they want to by the year 2035, 2045, 2055, whatever the fuck it happens to be. It's going to take 100 years to do the climate change to bring down the temperature of the Earth by 0.0002% in 100 years. Fuck all the way off.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Not even a little bit.
Okay. You want to know the real position that you're in. It's not your car or anything like that. Okay. Don't do anything about that. Just take a very simple comparison. For the next 2 months, don't let your trash be taken out on your Monday or Tuesday or whenever you trash. Exactly. Stack those bags of trash that your household creates in your garage, outside, in your kitchen if you really want to learn a lesson, and then realize that's just your household's trash. And then think about every household, and then think about construction sites and businesses. And you're worried about the few fumes that you may or may not be saving by driving an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
It's posturing. Stop with the electrical vehicle thing.
Yeah.
If you want to buy one, say it because you want to drive a Tesla and you don't like going to gas stations. I'm down with that.
I'm fine with down.
Stop lying to me. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to yourself.
Yep.
Right? Don't say it's an environmental reason, because if it is, you don't know any better.
Right. You are uneducated and you're doing it for poshness.
Yeah, it's an offset of environmental costs at best if you don't include strip mining and basically slave labor. So yep. I know we're rambling here, but these are going to be the rambles you get sometimes. Don't lie to yourself anymore. Just stop.
Oh, but guess where the rest of the shit is coming from? The stuff that they're made out of, the plastic. Hey, guess what? Plastic is made from fossil fuels.
Right.
Duh. It's made from fucking oil byproduct. Duh.
Right.
The car's all plastic. What do you think? You're not saving the fucking environment.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and by the way, if they start making them out of actual metal, which is also mining,
yeah,
or getting it from another country,
yeah,
which means they're mining it under God knows what kind of safety, OSHA, healthcare, payment rules, right? Your battery is going to last about 65 seconds because your car is going to weigh 3 times as much.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about fucking mining for a minute. Mining trucks, coal mines. Let's pick on coal mines, right? Because
everybody likes to,
right? Coal mine trucks. They're dump trucks that they run in their friggin'. They're DC powered. They're electric engines running the wheels on that fucking the mine truck. You know what they have? They have a small diesel engine for a generator.
Right.
Tiny diesel engine for a generator. It's the size of a pickup.
Yeah, still fossil fuels to run an electric motor to turn wheels.
Right. And that's what y'all are bitching about.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, we have too many people now in, I'm going to say, most countries to be able to effectively, most first world countries, to effectively generate enough power naturally, quote unquote. Nuclear, you're right, man. Nuclear is the way to go.
It's the only way. It's perfectly green.
Right.
And the safeties, the horrible shit doesn't outweigh how good it is. The horrible shit just does not outweigh the
last time I looked it up on what I was hoping was a reputable source. We all agree the internet's a fucking Wild West, right?
Right.
There was one confirmed death at Fukushima.
Yeah.
It was the environmental disaster that was the problem, not the loss of life. It really fucked up the landscape and the waters and stuff there. There's no arguing that, right?
Right.
Well, maybe don't build them on the ocean.
Right.
I know there's still groundwater gets into but those are things for professionals to decide where to put them and what safeties to put in place. But the power that can generate, it's better than coal.
Yeah.
You know,
it's better than coal. It's better than solar. It's better than wind. It's better than anything.
Right. Some documentary I saw said like all of the nuclear waste created, and I don't know if it was North America or the United States or whatever.
It was North America.
Yeah. All fits inside of one Walmart so far.
Yep.
That's nothing.
It's not what we were told that it's buried in mountains.
Right. Yeah. Not mountains. Like a Walmart.
Yeah. A Walmart.
Yeah. I know it sounds like a big, like Walmarts are big, right? But you couldn't take all the construction trash or residential trash from one city for one day and fit that in a Walmart.
Right.
And you're worried about, come on. And they're definitely bearing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Now they're getting better at recycling and things like that. Sure. Landfills exist, kids.
Yeah. But mostly the recycling, most of it is burned.
Yeah.
Oh, where did those fumes go?
Believe me, all those places, they don't have an EPA person standing there taking readings on the roof all day, every day. Like,
no.
They're burning.
They're burning trash.
Right. And if you're the sort of person who's listening to this and getting terrified now because you didn't know that this is the way it is, this ain't the show for you.
No.
Yep.
No. Hey, Buttercup.
Yeah,
Fucking.
God love you. Go find a recycling podcast or a right.
You should probably find the freaking Hippie Joe's channel down the street.
What do they call it when you put all your fucking food waste? Compost. Find a composting podcast.
Right.
Somebody raising bees.
Yep.
Reclamating furniture. Something. The same for you.
Now,
we're gonna talk the way things are about some of the shit.
And I'm not a proponent for destroying the environment.
No, absolutely
Understand?
not.
Like, I want our environment to last as long as physically possible.
Yeah, forever, hopefully.
I'm going to be dead and gone long before it all goes to hell. But the steps that you guys are pushing and society is pushing and leaning into, I draw a blank on the motherfucker's name, the Tesla dude. What is his name, Jason?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. If you think that he is a fucking savior, you're dead fucking wrong. If you fucking, oh my God, I want to say one simple thing to you.
Please.
He creates Teslas. He's done well. He almost lost that company. He had to put in like $60 million of his own money to save it because it almost went belly up before it launched. He's not saving the fucking environment when he's launching fucking rockets into goddamn space for his fucking satellites. Because that shit's still running off of fucking jet fuel and rocket fuel.
He certainly isn't using right now an electric powered rocket. That's for sure.
Exactly. I want that fucking rocket to be electric powered if he's going to save the fucking... Fuck you. He's not a god.
Okay, so I don't think Elon Musk is a god. I will tell you personally, I like some of the things. I like that SpaceX exists because I want a privatized person trying to get rockets into the air for satellites in space because I don't want every bit of that to be controlled by the government. I'm okay that it's a corporation who is doing things like they've got the Starlink.
Right.
Great.
Right. The benefits of the Starlink and places like fucking Ukraine, right. What he did there, absolutely fucking amazing. I'll give him credit for that. I'm super animated right now.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. John likes talking with his hands, by the way, for everybody listening.
I'll give him all the credit in the world for that. Good on him. But don't you dare fucking put him on a goddamn pedestal for that.
I think the Tesla machine, cars,
it's a piece of shit.
A product that people are obviously happy with, performs very well. I get all that. It's the reasons they're saying they're driving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying, I want to drive a brand new 2023 Corvette because I like the gas mileage. No, you wanted to drive a Corvette. Cool.
Right.
Just to me, you want to drive a Tesla. Don't fool yourself into thinking you're saving the world. And Elon Musk certainly isn't. If you need any proof at all, I think he's a brilliant businessman. Obviously, he must be. He's a billionaire, right?
He's doing well.
Look how many kids he has, and he's talking about carbon footprints and stuff. Look at all the carbon footprint he adds to the world with his family.
Right.
Just have a family if you want. I'm not bagging on you, Elon. I'm sure you got a great family. I'm sure your wife and kids are great or whatever, but that's not good for the environment either, having a dozen kids or whatever it is, right?
Elon is a smart man.
A genius. Genius, right?
He's from what I understand, yeah, he is a genius. But I don't have a problem. Okay, God damn it, I have to fucking change some things. Let's do some retracting. I don't fucking hate Elon Musk.
He's scary now because he said he hated Elon Musk.
No, I don't hate Elon Musk. I hate the pedestal that everybody has put him on.
Sure.
Because it's fucking fake, and everybody is too goddamn dumb to realize what they're doing. A man shouldn't have so much power to control the stock market. One man can control the stock market by a tweet, which he has done. He has plummeted the stock market. The minute he tweeted out, he's no longer allowing Bitcoin for his cars. It dropped the stock market.
You know more than I do. I know nothing about this.
Should not be able to do that. One man should not be able to do that.
Those men and women have existed throughout the history of finance and business.
They have.
He's just one right now.
And he's the one that's out in front.
Yeah. I saw an image the other day of somebody who had photoshopped the front of a Tesla, and where the Tesla logo is with the words, they had used the same font and photoshopped in Rockefeller. And I fucking laughed.
Dude, it's great. Right? It goes back to your statement there. I owned a Charger, an RT Charger. It had a V8 engine. I did not buy it for gas mileage. I bought it for speed.
That's not a commuter car, right?
No. Oh, it was.
But it wasn't designed to be a commuter car, right?
I bought it because it was fast, and I enjoyed it. And I knew I was only getting 14 miles a gallon out of it because my foot was in it.
So, yeah, we don't hate you if you own an electric vehicle, but be honest with yourself. It makes you feel better about yourself, or you don't want to go, whatever it is, but don't do it for the environment.
Yeah, don't, because you're just false pretenses.
Yeah, you're fucking yourself over with that. That's just no fun. Not to mention the fact that, hey man, I can walk to the gas station in 100-degree day if it sucks, and I can buy a gas tank, and I can take 5 gallons back or whatever to fill my tank up because I got stranded in the middle of nowhere. You ain't dragging a Tesla charger out in the middle of the fucking Death Valley.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No. Oh, they're going to roll up with a diesel fucking engine.
Right.
To plug in your car.
Right. That has an inverter and a charger and all that right on the
It's
back
a
of
diesel
the
generator.
AAA Tesla roadside assistance. And they're going to start that.
Right. Tesla has their own remote fucking charging equipment.
Right.
It's a diesel generator.
Right. And if you think that they're going to pull up on a vehicle that has wind turbines or solar panels on top of that vehicle to then plug into your vehicle, congratulations. You're probably there for, I don't know what the math works out to, but a tractor trailer worth of solar panels would charge a Tesla in a day?
Maybe.
I don't know. But I can tell you what it's not. It ain't 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
It's a pumpkin while.
Let's talk about this other fact with Teslas, batteries, charging batteries. We know this as electricians. What happens to a battery when it gets cold and you need to charge it? Right? They don't fucking charge. Tesla has a feature in them to combat this. They take heat from the motors spin, create heat. It pumps that heat into the battery bank to warm up the motors when it's freezing, or to warm up the batteries when it's freezing, so they'll accept a charge and not blow up.
And take 5 seconds in the internet, search Tesla's blowing up. You don't have enough time to watch those videos today.
No.
And we should,
battery fires are stupid hot.
Right, and they're hard to put out too. And we shouldn't be bagging. Listen, this isn't Tesla. We're saying Tesla because it's the name brand.
It's anything.
It's the WD-40. It's the channel locks of the deal, right? We're talking about electric vehicles.
EV vehicles.
Right. Yeah.
And I only know about the Tesla feature because I did some research. But I'm sure they're all that way. They have to, especially when you live in an area of the country that we do. I'm sorry, but -20, your Tesla ain't fucking charging, homie.
I would suspect a lot of those people have fancy heated garages.
They fucking better.
I think they fucking better. And, I mean, unpopular opinion, which I just realized I didn't put in our last episode.
That's all right.
I still kind of want to drive one. You driven a Tesla? I haven't driven a Tesla. I hear they're fucking rocket ships. Like, I would like to try one.
I heard they're built cheap as shit. My wife has been in one, and she said it's just not. Everything is loose. All the plastic paneling shit. It's just the seams don't line up. You're paying an exorbitant price for something that is pretty much a fucking Honda Civic.
And see, I have no frame reference. I haven't been in one, but I'm telling you, I would drive one. I'd like to drive one.
I don't want to drive one.
No?
I would drive, not a Tesla, the ones that I will look at. I will never buy a Tesla, ever. I don't fucking care, ever. I'm just not impressed.
My lifestyle doesn't work with an electric vehicle.
Me neither. And where we live don't work.
Right.
However these people are, God bless you, however you're making it work in this area, fantastic. But you're not driving more than 100 miles a fucking day, I can tell you that. The ones I would look at is the Mach 4 Mustangs. The EV Mustangs.
See, that makes me more upset than a Tesla.
No, they're so much higher quality. I've been in one of those. And they are so nice.
Well,
and they're doing 0 to 60 and like fucking.
Again, apparently the Teslas fucking get after it.
They do. All electric vehicles.
Ludicrous mode or
fast.
whatever, right? Plaid mode, fucking.
Yep, they're all 100% torque.
Right.
They're 100% torque at 0 RPM.
Right. Light. No real weight other than the batteries and the frame, right? Like,
right, and that weighs enough.
Right.
They're still like a 3,000-pound car.
Right.
Like.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if your engine, quote unquote, the battery pack in your Tesla goes bad, look up the cost of replacing those.
Yeah, in 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, that ain't 2 AAAs from the fucking Walmart, right? Like,
and any EV vehicle.
Right. Yeah, that's again anything.
They're stupid.
We're generalizing for Tesla, but I mean it's not just Tesla. And on the same note, like let's just expand. We kind of got tied in on one thought there for a minute. It's the power generation altogether. Companies like Germany had A-frames of solar panels run along a like a big percentage of their highways and freeways. Like they were generating a lot. I think they've let them go by the wayside now.
Have they?
The power that you generate off of these things, the square footage, the acreage that you would need to cover to take, let's pick a random city in the Midwest. So like St. Paul.
Okay.
I would like to know. I will look up. I'll try to find this for future reference. If you're some fancy smarty pants engineer who knows this number, fucking send it to me. I'll look it over. Like send it to the ISOP podcast. I would like to know what the square acreage mileage I bet would have to be of solar panels to generate what a smaller, reasonable sized city like St. Paul would need.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
What percentage of your particular state needs to be covered in solar panels to power your towns in your state? I mean, I would think in my head, except for some of the flyover places where there's a lot of like open space, and then that gets us right back to the original problem of how many trees do you want to take down? That raises raises the temperature of the earth.
Or how much ag land do you want to eat up?
Right.
Takes food out of people's mouths.
Innocent animals that the environmentalists say get killed by, right? It's all a catch-22. You're going to trip over your own ideals eventually, right? And I mean, listen, St. Paul is a fairly big city, but it's not gigantic. It's not the power consumption of a New York or a Los Angeles.
Right.
And this all depends on how many nice days you have. It's pretty easy in California or Florida where you get rain 18 times a year.
Right.
You get places that get snow for 4 months.
Oh, yeah. And clouds for fucking 6.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The spring is gloomy. It's like a Harry Potter movie at March, April, May every year at the start. It's just...
Isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It's
fucking
gloom.
depressing.
Yeah, it's gloom and doom for months.
Right.
I mean, is California or the other states that are sunny all the time going to send us power? Well, I can tell you what.
No, because, I mean, let's face it, they were told to California is the first ones to push the electric vehicles. And then they're told, hey, everybody, stop charging your electric vehicles. Our grid can't handle it.
Less than a week later.
Yeah.
Everybody will be on electric vehicles by 2045. And less than a week later, back on TV saying, can everybody please stop charging their vehicles at the same time every night when they get home? We're having rolling brownouts.
Right.
So you're telling me that the grid can't even handle the people doing it now?
Right.
And if we start updating the grid and the power generation, which is the hugest problem, so that means more fossil fuels, more coal, more whatever, or we get into nuclear, it's going to take years to build all that.
Oh, yeah.
Are you as the EV companies and the environmental groups going to finance the power generation to make this happen? Or who are you going to tell if we can't generate more, then how do you decide who doesn't get it? And now we're getting into way bigger social concerns that we care about on the show.
Right.
It's a complicated thing, and they think it's as simple as we're going to do what's best for the environment. What if the environment can only handle half the people who now have power to continue to have power because a top percentage of them want to have electric vehicles, or government told them they have to have them?
Right.
John's fanatically over here trying to keep this conversation going and look some fact up on the internet, and it's entertaining as shit for me.
Yeah, dude, he's got me fucking spinning really bad.
He's trying to keep
So I'm trying to look up. So Minnesota's overall power usage for the entire state is 68 terawatts. All right, which is 2% total in the U.S. It's 2% of what the U.S. draws totally. Okay.
How many terawatts?
68 terawatts. So I was trying to fucking define some shit and see, like, okay, so we got 68 terawatts, which is a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, FYI, everybody, that's a gigantic number.
So, do we have a solar panel field that we can actually look and see what the actual production is?
Oh, I'm sure we can find this. We're sort of flying by the seat of our pants here, little kids. But yeah, it's certainly the point being, it's if you just talk about solar, it's a gigantic amount of ground that needs to be either cleared or repurposed or whatever, covered in solar panels for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, right?
Right.
To power a reasonable size city.
Well, yeah, and our government is putting so much into it. Like, they're pushing it so freaking hard. They're giving, huge rebates to actually do this. But they're doing it, and it's just not... People have got to understand that it's not... The science behind solar panels is great. The science supporting it is great. There is enough energy that the sun puts out to hit the surface of the earth. You should be able to run your house off of a solar panel the size of a coffee table. That's how much energy hits the earth from the sun, right? So if we could get the technology there for solar panels, for conversion rate, right? Then it would probably be totally different. But there you go again. Okay, slave labor and cobalt mines. Cobalt mines are huge for solar panels, right?
They really are.
And so why do you think they're blue?
Yeah, not to mention, not to swing off on tangent, they also need cobalt for every single cell phone. So,
right, exactly. That all of us are tied to, and that I'm looking up on my looking up facts on the phone right now. But that's the deal. If we can't build the tech up in a very, very fast manner, it's not going to work very well.
No, and even if they decided a way to actually go, it needs to be implemented now. It's a cart before the horse sort of problem. They're trying to say we need all these electric alternatives when they should have been thinking about the way to provide for those before now.
Right.
We're already behind the eight ball here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what I've found here is it takes, let's see. Now this is coming from Freeing Energy, apparently from the Department of Energy, but I think this is just a vague site. But let's say their math is fairly close. 21,250 square miles of solar panel for 4 petawatt hours or 4,000 terawatt hours. So by that rationale, yours was 68.
Yep.
21,250 square miles for, what was your 68,000? Was that for the United States?
That's for Minnesota.
That was for...
That was just for Minnesota.
Off the top of my head, 4, 12, well over 100 square miles of solar panels just for one city.
How much?
Well over 100,000 square miles.
100,000 square miles.
Yeah.
For one city. Yep. Okay, so now I found this on a site, Solar Reviews. This guy has been doing some research on solar farms and stuff like that.
And remember, we're trying to talk and entertain here. We're not goddamn scientists. If there's somebody out there who really knows the math good of this, hey, entertainment value, calm the fuck down. We're just talking about it.
Solar farm installation costs to build the solar farms.
Yeah, that also costs a bunch of money too.
Right. Typically between 0.89, 89 cents to $1.01 per watt. That means that a 1 megawatt solar farm could cost anywhere from $890,000 to $1.1 million, $1.01 million for 1 megawatt. So let's talk about how cost affects how this shit works, because people also don't realize that solar panels go bad. They fail. They wear out. Their efficiency goes down. They have a half-life just like a battery does.
Have to be recycled in a very specific way because they have things that you can't just throw in a landfill.
Exactly.
There's radioactive parts in there.
So
material.
Then, in every, 10 years, the panels have to be replaced.
Now, my understanding is it's closer to 25 or 30.
Okay, well,
when they
that's
really
fair.
start to lose efficiency. I've done some installations from some reputable companies and stuff. But even then, that's only 25 years.
Right.
And
okay, well, that's fair.
Let's swing back real quick to the big view of this whole thing. All of that solar field that needs to be built, and we're only talking about solar. Let's say they try to use wind or ocean tides or whatever it is, right? All the pollution that you put in the air, building the field, driving all the material there, all the cars from all the workers who have to get to those sites, all the machinery moving dirt. It doesn't work out in the wash the same way. People only see the end result. They don't see the fact that the environmental things they're worried about are happening the whole way through the process just to make you feel good about sleeping at night because your community runs off solar panels now And even then, there's probably really specific rules about what you can do and when you can do it and what you can buy for appliances, because the community can't waste power because they only get it from the sun.
Right.
So
For sure. And people don't realize the battery banks, right? Power storage is a thing in order to be efficient.
yeah, it doesn't just go into your electric panel and come back out when you need it. That power has to be stored somewhere.
Right.
I know we're probably preaching to the choir for a lot of people here, but
Right. And maybe I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but like the largest solar farm in the United States.
Okay.
Right. The Copper Mountain Solar Facility located in El Dorado Valley, Nevada is currently the biggest solar farm in the U.S. Total installed capacity of 816 megawatts. That's the largest, right? That's the biggest one we got.
now,
Right.
just for everybody who is paying attention out there, a terawatt, significantly bigger than a megawatt.
Yep.
You'd all understand that if you had adopted the metric system, but that's a conversation for another day.
Here's another great thing. Mammoth Solar Farm. The Mammoth Solar Farm is set to be the biggest in the U.S. It's not built yet. It is planned at a $1.5 billion project, currently under construction in northern northern Indiana. Once completed, we'll have total energy generation capacity of 1,650 megawatts. So the question I have is the aptly named Mammoth Solar Project will cover an area of 13,000 acres. 13,000 acres, right? We'll have a total of roughly 2.85 million solar panels on 13,000 acres. Okay? So if you do that math, oh my God.
Well, I can do that right now. So let's swing back. Okay. So you said that Minnesota would need 68 terawatts. Okay.
Right.
I'm just counting up the zeros here because there's quite a few. It looks like the multiplication factor, that's how an adult says it, is 1,000,000 megawatts is a terawatt, according to what I'm reading. Hopefully I'm not getting that wrong. So, I mean, that's pretty simple math. That's not even close to doing one reasonably sized city like St. Paul. Or
Right.
Minnesota. We're talking Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That biggest proposed field comes nowhere close to covering one state.
No.
That, I mean, certainly generates a lot of power, but not like a California or a Texas or a New York or Florida. Like,
Right.
certainly not.
Right.
So people, do your research. Figure out that what you're arguing for isn't exactly the answer. And I haven't looked up what nuclear produces, but I know it's a less harmful, as long as it doesn't, blow up like Chernobyl or anything. It's a less harmful way to produce electricity.
By far. And it's way safer.
Emissions are down.
Environmentally.
Right.
Yeah. So keep that number in mind. 1,650 megawatts from the largest planned solar field. All right. So 1,650. So if we go, we'll go smallest. We'll go smallest nuclear facility. Power generation. Right.
So that 1,650 megawatt, what was that number that you gave me? Where did that come from?
So that is how much that largest solar field is going to produce.
1,650, 1,650. Okay.
Yep.
So as a comparison, that's 0.00165 of terawatt.
Right.
Minuscule.
So New York State has the smallest nuclear facility with one reactor with a nameplate generation capacity of 614 megawatts.
Which is significantly lower than that field.
Right.
Right?
So,
more than 1,000 megawatts lower.
It's smaller than half, right? So if we run off, now I want to find the facility size.
We're definitely getting lost in the weeds of the math here, I think.
We're
coming to a point, folks, I swear.
Right.
It'd just be nice to give a reasonable number that made sense on a city that we can picture in our head of how much you need.
Right. So basically what I'm trying to do is compare size-wise, right? So if we go facility size. So that is sitting on one community known as GINA, is the single unit nuclear power plant located on 426 acres. Okay. So we've got 426 acres is what that power plant takes, right? So now if we take that, it's a 13,000 acre solar field, right? That is
6 and change, I think.
more than that, right? 13,000 divided by 460.
Oh, 13,000. Okay,
13,000,
yeah, so
right? You could fit 10 of those facilities
easy.
easily on that and outperform that solar by a long shot.
That, as long as you keep the technology and safety up, all you do is replace fuel rods every however long they need to be replaced when they burn. People, stop being terrified of nuclear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is we're taking up all of this farm field. Farms have to feed people. Ag land has to feed people.
And there's not less people every day if you're not keeping track.
Right. And we are losing by thousands of acres of farm field to solar fields and to commercial land. And it's heartbreaking. It's a goddamn tragedy.
I appreciate the people who think they're doing it for the right reasons. They think it's helping. They think it's better. They think it's making a difference. I appreciate that you believe that, and good for you for trying to do something that you are passionate about. Do the fucking research.
Right. Educate yourself.
Don't compare apples to oranges anymore. All right. If at the end of the day, you need to decide, is your desire to have the environment hurt less, because it won't be zero, or is your desire to have less environmental impact, or to generate power safely with less environmental impact?
Right.
Those are the only two options.
Right.
Because you can either have less power, and then who decides who gets what power, or you can have the power that we need for everybody on what really takes less of a toll on the environment, but you're scared of it because you think
bad things have happened.
You watched the HBO documentary about Chernobyl, or you heard about Fukushima on the news, and yes, those things are terrible.
Propaganda.
And have they decommissioned lots of these over the years?
A ton.
Sure they have. Ones that were old and outdated that were prone to have these problems. And if you look at the same countries and locations, they're now having problems providing enough electricity for their people.
Yep. We shut down a lot of our nuclear facilities because of that.
Sure.
In the U.S.
But if we're going to start generating power that way, I mean, maybe back to the start here with Tesla, Elon, get behind building a state-of-the-art nuclear facility in a couple in every state, man. You got billions of dollars.
Or hey, on your gigafactory, run it off of a nuclear plant in Nevada.
Right. I know you're trying to be
door.
all green and solar, but let's be realistic. As John said, until you can shoot a rocket into space off electricity, I ain't buying it, dude.
No.
I ain't buying it. How many trips to the grocery store is that when they launch one of them into space?
Right.
Right. There's a couple of emissions off of one of them launches, I suspect.
Right.
Now, who knows? I'm no fucking chemist. Maybe jet fuel burns up perfectly clean.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. Maybe it does.
It's a combustion engine. No, it doesn't.
Maybe it's,
shut up.
Maybe it's way better than diesel. Who knows?
It could be way better than diesel.
I don't fucking know, right? Again, we're talking at our fucking ass here half the time. But you see what we're getting at. Look up your own facts. I'd rather throw lies at you and have you look up the truth and find out that we were close but not accurate.
Right.
Well, this was an interesting tangent. I didn't expect this to go this way here.
Fucking wow. Big rant.
Yeah, this one's fun. Yeah, this might be a paywall rant.
Yeah, no, this is probably going to be a paywall rant or a fill-in episode. Or
the EV Tesla rant.
Yeah. Hey, dude, great. That's the episode name. Thank you for that.
The EV Tesla rant.
EV Tesla rant.
We can also keep Tesla out of it and beep every time we say Tesla, even though everybody knows what we're talking about, because I don't feel like getting sued from Elon fucking Musk.
He ain't gonna. Dude, we're small potatoes.
We for sure are. There's definitely important people out there saying that he's not doing the right thing. Right. Yeah, he don't care about us. I know. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah. No.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, I appreciate your looking up the times there and looking up some of the stats, even though, again, we're flying by the seat of our pants. But
Because we weren't expecting to go on this rant, so I had to do it live.
no, we thought we were done for the day. We just sort of turned a corner here and decided to push record and say fuck it.
Right.
But anyways, however you get this, paywall, extra episode, whatever it is, thanks for listening. And you know all the socials. You know where to find us. I'm happy to have you here, John. And
It's
you got
great to
anything
be
else,
in the
buddy?
job trailer.
You good?
I'm fantastic, man.
All right. God love all of yous, even though we're not religious here. I use it as a euphemism, not as an actual thing. Remember, your work keeps the world working, and we'll hear from you next time. Thank you.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.